Hello, everyone, dear viewers of the channel. I am Helena, the guardian of secrets, a researcher of mystical phenomena. And here with me is Vadim, a historian interested in folk culture.
Good evening, or perhaps good morning, depending on when you're tuning in. Today, Helena has pulled us into the intriguing and perhaps a little chilling realm of Ukrainian cemeteries after midnight, a topic that certainly stirs the imagination.
Indeed, Vadim, it's a topic deeply woven into our ancestral fabric. Cemeteries, to me, are not just places of rest, but energy points, thresholds, where the visible and invisible worlds often intertwine. And when the sun sets, especially past midnight, that veil thins significantly. Our ancestors believed this to be a time when the voices of the dead, both literal and metaphorical, could be heard.
From a historical perspective, the reverence for burial sites is universal. It's where our connection to lineage is physically marked. But the idea of voices from the dead usually stems from a confluence of factors. Psychologically, grief can manifest as auditory hallucinations. Culturally, nighttime, silence, and the inherent solemnity of a cemetery can trigger a heightened state of awareness, making us more susceptible to suggestion or misinterpreting natural sounds.
Oh, but it's more than just suggestion, Vadim. Think of the ancient Ukrainian belief in Navskyi Den, the Day of the Ancestors, or chrobki, as it's often called. While traditionally observed during the day, the preparations, the thoughts, the communion with the deceased linger. And on such days, or indeed any night when the moon is full or a storm is brewing, the line between worlds is believed to become almost transparent. There are countless stories of people hearing whispers, soft moans, or even full phrases emanating from graves, especially those of individuals who died tragically or had unfinished business.
And those stories are fascinating, Helena. From a folkloric perspective, they serve a vital purpose. They reinforce social norms, warn against specific actions, or provide comfort that the deceased are still present in some form. The unfinished business narrative is particularly potent. It's a way for communities to process unresolved trauma or injustice through a supernatural lens. But could these voices not simply be the wind whistling through old trees, or the rustle of leaves amplified by the silence of the night, or even the creaking of old wooden crosses and monuments expanding and contracting with temperature changes?
You approach it with such logic, Vadim, and I appreciate that balance. But sometimes logic cannot explain the chill that runs down your spine when you distinctly hear your name called and no one is around. Or the melody of an old lullaby, faint but clear, coming from the grave of a young mother. My grandmother used to tell me about a particular cemetery near our village where, on certain nights, you could hear the distinct sound of a child crying. They said it was an unbaptized infant yearning for peace. The villagers would leave small embroidered cloths and sweets near the grave, hoping to soothe its spirit. And the chilling part, many claimed the cries would sometimes stop after these offerings, only to resume weeks later if the offerings weren't refreshed.
That's a powerful narrative, Helena, and it highlights the essence of these beliefs, the desire to help, to appease, to connect. The unbaptized infant narrative is very common in Christian folklore across many cultures. From a historical and anthropological viewpoint, it reflects the immense value placed on baptism and the fear of losing a child to limbo or an unblessed afterlife. The cries could be a collective cultural memory, a projection of the community's grief and anxiety onto the sacred space. And the cessation after offerings could be attributed to the psychological relief of the living, feeling they have done their part, rather than a direct supernatural intervention.
But what about the mavki, or rusalki, who are said to haunt crossroads and specific burial mounds, particularly those where suicides or tragic deaths occurred? They are not just cries. They are often depicted as enticing voices, leading travelers astray. This suggests a more active, sentient presence beyond mere environmental sounds. These are not merely echoes of sorrow, but entities seeking to influence the living.
The Navskyi and Rusalki, a fascinating digression into broader Ukrainian mythology. While their lore often ties into water bodies and forests, their presence near graves, especially those of the drowned or unrequited, is significant. Historically, these entities embody the untamed, the dangerous aspects of nature, and the fear of premature, violent death. Their voices are siren calls, symbolic of temptation or warning. They served as powerful moral lessons. Don't venture into dangerous places alone, respect the dead, understand the consequences of certain actions. It's a cultural mechanism to explain natural dangers and reinforce community cohesion through shared fears and prohibitions.
But isn't there something inherently magical in that? That our ancestors found a way to externalize grief, warning, and memory into tangible voices and spirits. For me, the magic lies not just in whether a spirit literally cries, but in the profound belief system that created such vivid stories. It gives agency to the dead, reminds us of our connection to them, and warns us to live right, lest our own spirits become restless. And these beliefs manifest in real rituals, like leaving food on graves or tending to them meticulously.
Absolutely, Helena. The magic is in the symbolism. Consider the traditional practice of trisna, a funeral feast often held at the grave. While appearing to be a secular gathering, it's a profound act of remembrance and communion. The voices of the dead heard in these contexts might be the collective memory speaking, the stories shared, the emotional release experienced. It's a wind blowing, but the meaning assigned to those sounds is purely human and deeply cultural. It is our way of keeping them alive in our hearts, even if not physically.
And we encourage all of you, our dear listeners, to share your own stories or experiences with us in the comments below. Have you ever felt a presence or heard an unexplainable sound in a sacred place? We'd love to hear your insights.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more explorations into Ukrainian mystical phenomena, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Your engagement helps us keep these vital discussions going.
Until next time, stay curious, stay connected to your roots, and perhaps listen a little more closely to the whispers of the night.
And keep an open, yet critical mind. Good night, everyone.